Welcome to the Erica Shady channel, the bilingual channel. English and Spanish and Spanish and English. El bilingüe, ya tú sabes. Okay, so we're here with JamWayne. I don't know, I want to say Jane. I want to say James. He must be James, his first name, but he took the ES probably to sound like jam, like it's a jam, like, music is good. And Wayne must be his last name. So, I find this guy interesting. Somebody asked me to react to him, and then once they asked me, and I reacted the first time, I'm like, I'm going to react again. And I reacted again and again. He raps very well. He has great flow. But he's a unicorn in a way. And I know people are going to say, but Tom McDonald kind of is doing it, but he's not really from the South. And he's not even American. He's from Canada, which I have no problem, nothing against it. People that love my country, I'm like, oh, if you love the United States, mwah, bless you. Love it more yet. And if you want to be an American, bet, become one. But he's not born and raised in the South. Now, I don't know about Adam Calhoun or Calhoun. I don't know about Upchurch. And there's another guy too, I forgot his name. But like these three white boys that I have reacted to, they kind of sound like they're from small towns in the South. Adam Calhoun even gave the street where he lives. That's fucking crazy. Eso está loco. That's crazy. Are you going to give the address where you live? What's up, fuck? But this guy, which he came out with a song called The Deep South, seemed to be from the South. And I don't know, it's a unicorn thing, and people, you gotta get it, right? And of course, he still dresses like hip hop. I'm not saying, because my man, if I were to see him in the city, I would never think that he's, a redneck or he's from the South, or the Deep South. I wouldn't think that because of the way he dresses. He looks like he's hip hop, from the city. But it's going to come a time where we're going to see a farmer or a cowboy rapper. Dressing like a cowboy and rapping about farm, which this guy almost did when he's rapping about the Deep South and he's rapping about the shit that they grow. Never in the 80s or in the 90s will we even consider our raps. Can you imagine that when they call it urban? It's urban music. Urban. City. Urban. And it was because they were black and they didn't want to say black and Latinos, but urban. The opposite of the Deep South. And now we got this guy who's white rapping about about agriculture and the lifestyle of the Deep South. I just had to take a break and say that. That's why I'm reacting to it. I am surprised. Let's see what the ripple effect is.
I see you invisibly inside of my being, inside of me, so shines the king. And I believe I seen some strange things, some God.
Okay, now he looks less like the other day. He looked more hip hopish. I don't know, dude. This guy is a trip. Cause he straight up looks like a trucker. He looks like, even Army, I would say I served with people that look like him. Lots of people that look like him. And kind of a CC Top look, even though his beard's not that long. Seems like that's coming back to style, but CC Top is rock, not rap.
I see you invisibly inside of my being, inside of me, so shines the king. And I believe I seen some strange things, some gone insane, like some ain't who they once was, lost their way. Yeah, way out of here, out of despair, out of careless conversation, inconsiderate fears, deliberate stares, the mean nature, hate your appearance, hard-headed alcoholic daddy beating his kids, repercussions of a world in a mess. Many men on their deathbed feeling their chest, eternal rest, but some things left never gon' rest. Like a rock thrown in water, got a ripple effect. I used to live like you, wild as I want, down with the sickness, dang if I don't, dang if I do now, trying to do my best. Like a rock thrown in water, there's a ripple effect. What you do in this life and when you're going to the next. Understand those you leave behind gon' feel the effects of all you did before you exited to realms of the sky. How you raised them, the love and hate, the pain and the strife. Some decisions critical for your.
This is a deep song. Like it. I want to give it a like already. This is different than the other ones.
Family to thrive.
Oh, I'm sorry, because the other ones that he had were more like, one was about, the first one that I reacted to him was him talking about his bars and how suave, how good he is at rapping. And then the one that I talked about, the Deep South, where he talks about the life there. But this is, and then it's funny because it's near a highway now. So it's not that deep, because Deep South, you gotta be like fucking away from the highway, or freeway. But yeah, he's talking about how he was in that mess, I guess in that confusion that we grew up. He was wild too. He was a wild man before, which I wouldn't doubt it. Like again, I said, I served with a lot of people that looked like him. And yeah, we partied when we were in the army. We drank like hell. And that's when I became an alcoholic too. It was not because of the army, it was whatever. I digress, but that's when my alcoholism, took off. And yeah, it's a ripple effect because one thing takes out after another. One thing that you do here happens to affect, and not only your life, but like he's saying, the life of other people. Because when you leave, what you've done stay here, affecting those that lived here, especially if you're unalive yourself. That's one ripple effect that hurts a lot of people that stay here. And that's what I think every time. When that cross comes back to my mind, when that thought crosses my mind again, I think about my family and what pain they would suffer. But it's a dark place, and yeah, he's right. I didn't expect this. The ripple effect, good.
It's like a rock thrown in water, there's a ripple effect. What you do in this life and when you're going to the next. Understand those you leave behind gon' feel the effects of all you did before you exited to realms of the sky. How you raised them, the love and hate, the pain and the strife. Some decisions critical for your family to thrive. Did you plant in good soil so your seed would survive? Little eyes watching how you treat them shapes the person they are, and then it ripples like a rock in a pond. I used to live like you, wild as I want, down with the sickness, danged if I don't, danged if I do now, trying to do my best. Like a rock thrown in water, there's a ripple effect. I used to live like you, wild as I want, down with the sickness, danged if I don't, danged if I do now, trying to do my best. Like a rock thrown in water, there's a ripple effect.
To me, and then look at the water with the ripple effect that you throw on a rock. When you throw the rock, ahí está el agua con el efecto que le pasa cuando un ripple effect son los efectos sucesivos. Una acción entonces tiene su consecuencia que afecta y afecta y afecta hasta llegar a un punto que se diluye. Y con los hijos, like he talked about the kids, like the kids are looking at you, they're looking to see how you treat them, and that will come back once they're grown, because that thing about honor thy father and thy mother doesn't work. You have to show love and respect to your kids so that they can love you and respect you when they grow older. And if they don't, because some kids won't do that, they're insensitive and they're selfish, and that's the human nature. But at least you did the best you could, and that's it. It's worse because they don't owe you anything. That's another thing. We that were born here, we don't owe anyone that brought us here, man. You guys chose that. And I say you guys because I didn't have any kids, so, I can't be in that thing about having kids and passing the disease, like he says. And I like when he said down with the illness, down with the sickness, because he leaves it open. What sickness? What illness? Is it heroin? Is it crack, fentanyl, coke, alcohol, depression, bipolar? All of those are illnesses, diseases. If you got to the end of this reaction, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Leave a comment.